Hi everyone, it's Stephanie, Red Hair Classic. I want to apologize for kind of being absent lately. It's summer, doing a lot of activities, and it's just harder for me to film because we've been really busy this summer. So today, I'm going to be doing a foundation review. I gave myself a challenge this year, like it was almost like a makeup New Year's resolution to only do drugstore foundations. I kind of like a high-end type of girl. Like I love anything that's like name brand. And so I have a hard time wanting to like shop at drugstore and finding something more like affordable. So I just gave myself the challenge because I'm like, well, if it works just as well as like high-end foundations, then and it's a better price point. So I've been trying to be like on the search for new drugstore foundations. You've been seeing me use this one in videos, is the Catrice High Liquid Coverage Foundation. And I'm sorry, Catrice, but I don't love this foundation. I will not rebuy. This is the lightest shade for me, and it is too dark for me. So it doesn't work, and I don't love how it looks on my skin. I feel like my skin looks a little bit more textured. I've had to play with it a lot because I was used to using foundations with a brush. And so I've had to use like more of a sponge with that one. I had to make sure I use like a lighter concealer, and just to make sure it kind of balances out, kind of blends together to make it more like my shade. I went to Target last night, and I also posted on like my social media to see what foundations I should test out from the drugstore. And so I knew I was going to Target, and a girl was like, you have to try this one. It's only $6 and I love it. I'm going to rebuy it. And so it is the E.L.F. Flawless Finish Foundation. And what I liked about shopping there, it's kind of easy to figure out like what your shade is. So I picked up the shades Beige and Natural. I use Foundation.com, which helps me figure out, if I type in my shades from other brands, what my shade is, so I don't have to like guess about what shade I'm going to be. But when I was at the store, I felt like the shade Natural, I know it's in like a frosted ball, so maybe it will be a little bit lighter when it comes out. Natural says it's a fair light with neutral undertones, and I'm typically more in the light shade range than the fair shade range. I guess I'm a little bit darker than I thought, but again, in the bottle, it just looks too dark to me. Like this is the Natural, and then this one here is Beige, which is light with cool pink undertones, and I do have red on my face. So, and I also tend to burn easily, and so that's why I gravitate towards more like the pink undertones. I try to stick with neutral because I feel like I'm more of a neutral than anything else, but we'll see which one works best. All right, so a little bit about the E.L.F. Flawless Finish Foundation. There's 40 shade range, which is really great for drugstore. Like with drugstore, there seems to be not a ton of like shade range, which is what I run into whenever I go and try to find a drugstore foundation, is that I'm not finding something that's light enough for me. So I'm excited to try this out and see if it's gonna be light enough. And then it's also lightweight, oil-free formula. It blends naturally into skin with a semi-matte finish. On here, it also says oil-free satin finish. So I guess matte, semi-matte, and satin are interchangeable. I don't know, but it's supposed to last all day. So we'll see if this lasts all day. And then it's also supposed to restore uneven skin textures and tones for visibly brighter skin, perfect for all skin types. And for those of you that don't know, I have normal to dry skin, so I will see if it's great for my skin type. So I did ask because I was trying to figure out, someone was like, I'm having a really hard time finding foundations that work for me. And it's definitely just trial and error and trying to figure out what works best on your skin. You will find something as long as you just try it. It's hard to like go based on a review, trying it yourself, because not everyone's skin tone, texture, type is the same. So that's why there's like a million foundations out there, because some people prefer one thing over another. I typically go to Sephora if I want something high-end, and I ask for a sample, because Sephora is the only place that I know of that does samples for makeup. And then I can take it home. I get maybe 2 or 3 uses out of it, and then I can decide from there if I like how my skin looks, if I want to or if I want to buy it in the full size. I know that Ulta doesn't do samples, but I believe with their return policy that you can return it even if it's been open, so you can get like a full refund, or you can exchange it for another foundation, or you can like put it on a gift card. He can correct me if any of that information is wrong on the return policy. I did ask the guy at Target when I was buying it. I was like, hey, I don't know if any of these are in my shade range. If it's wrong, can I return it? Or do I do a gift card? Do I do an exchange? And he's like, oh, you can return it. People return makeup all the time if it's wrong or it doesn't work and blah, blah, blah. So now you know. The more you know. So anyway, let's jump into this. It's like a twist top, or oh, it's a pull top, and then it has a pump. One here is natural. I'm gonna try and, this is the one that Foundation said was my shade, so we'll see. I still feel like it's almost too dark, but you never know. And they say when you go in and swatch, because Ulta, you can swatch things on your face, and I'm doing beige on the other hand.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, I feel like this one's gonna be more my shade. Okay, so I did 2 pumps of each on the back of my hand. I probably didn't need to do that much. But when you go into like Ulta or Sephora, Ulta will definitely have more like the drugstore brand, so I'm pretty sure that they have E.L.F there, and Maybelline and L'Oreal. You can go in and you can like swatch these on your face. So you don't want to like swatch it on your arm or on your hand, because that's not going to be true to your skin tone. They say you want to swatch it like on the neck, and you see which one is going to blend into the skin better. So I'm going to go in with beige here. I'm going to put it up to my neck like that. And then this one here is natural, the one that they said on Foundation that is more, must be more my shade. Interesting. So I would have thought like in my hand, because it looks so dark in comparison, pretty close. Or I could even, sometimes not everyone is going to be just one shade. You might be multiple shades. And so I could always like blend the two together if I feel like, if it's my shade. I kind of want to blend it out a little bit more and see which one kind of meshes better. Still feel like this beige will be a little bit better for me, like in a for neck comparison. It's so hard to tell, but maybe I'll do like beige on one side and I don't know, the other shade on the other. Is that too much? Okay, so I'm gonna take this off. I've already primed my face. I used the, what did I use? Shoot. I used the Smashbox Photo Finish Primerizer. It's a primer and a moisturizer for my dry skin. Oh, and I should mention too, it's $6 and it's 0.38 fluid ounces. I think I'm gonna do beige. I feel like beige is definitely more my skin color than it natural is. I was gonna do one side with a sponge and one side with a brush, just so you could see the difference or which one I like better. This one is beige and use. So this is with the sponge, and now I'm going to go in with the other side with the brush. Alright, so that's with the brush. I might do one more little pump and just see if I can build it up. I have to even it out and do another pump on the other side with the sponge. Oh my gosh. I feel like this is like just one pump and it is like so much product, and I'm like, I don't really want like a ton of product. I just want a little bit of product. So you might want to be careful about, just know how much you want to put on your face. On first impressions of this, I okay. I don't know if it's just the camera, but it looks like really kind of yellow on me. Could be the camera, it could be the lighting, and then because I feel like it, yes, in person, like it does look a little bit more yellow, but it looks a little bit more like natural in like just not through the camera, if that makes sense. So I don't know. This is it off, so you can kind of see that it's not like not too crazy of like a shade difference with just like no beauty light on. So then I put my ring light back on. I do feel like it is, yeah, definitely, it's not super matte. I don't know, it does feel a little bit tacky. And then so I would definitely want to like set this foundation because I feel like it is transferring a little bit when I'm touching my face. And then I like the sheen. I personally like this satin finish. I don't love a matte finish, so I like this semi-matte that they have. Definitely looks natural. I am not mad at it. So I am, and I do think it is a medium coverage. I don't feel like it's a super full coverage. I feel like it is definitely more like a medium coverage. I feel like I was able to kind of build it up to maybe a tiny bit more full coverage, but I still see through like a lot. Like I can still see like all of my freckles, but you know, I just have a lot of freckles on my face, so there's no avoiding that with any foundation. I do feel it is maybe, I don't know if I maybe put too much product on this side with the sponge, but I feel like it's more for full coverage on this side than it is on the brush side. So up to you on what kind of coverage you're looking for. I'm gonna do the rest of my face makeup. I'll probably just speed up that part and then I'll let you know how everything kind of blends out with the foundation. So see you in a second. Okay, so this is the completed look after I've applied like bronzer and blush and highlight, And then I put on my lips. I know I haven't done my eyes yet because I am going to be doing an eyeshadow tutorial. I really like how my skin looks here. I'm going to use a mirror and look up close so that way I can kind of give it more detail. Let's see. I don't feel like it emphasizes my pores or my texture. I think my skin looks really good. Okay, so, I mean, this might not be the foundation's fault, but it could be like maybe just my fault with the concealer. I do feel like under my eye is a little bit creasing slightly. As I know that like my problem areas are like my forehead because I have my forehead lines, and then around my nose I just have really big pores. So I mean, not all foundations are gonna cover like up pores and stuff, but I do feel like I don't see like a ton of like texture on my skin, and then like I have a lot of texture like up at my forehead lines, and then yeah, so my only concern is just around my eyes. I feel like when I do that I can see like lines kind of like right around here, but again I put concealer there, so it could have been like my fault with the concealer, or it could be the foundation. So I guess we'll see. I'll check in later. I'll see how long this lasts. I'll see if I can check it at the end of the day. Right now it is 11:15 in the morning, so if I don't come back, I want to say thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoy kind of foundation reviews. Stay tuned for the rest of the year while I keep doing drugstore foundation reviews. The only time I will do high-end is if it's like a new release that I'm really excited about, and I will only get a sample of it at Sephora. I will not buy the full bottle. I'm only buying drugstore foundations. I am not buying any high-end foundations this year. So if you have any suggestions of drugstore foundations that I should try out next, sound off below. Maybe I'll go pick some up and do some more foundation reviews. So thank you so much for watching. If you want to keep following me, I try to post to Instagram some of my looks, but I've been kind of slacking. My Instagram is truthfrommmy_redlips. I'll put it right up here. And I will try to post every week this summer if I can. And I hope you guys have a great summer. I mean, just see how many times I can say summer in this video, really. Watch the next video just to see how my eye makeup looks. Okay, bye. Okay, so I want to do a quick check-in, and it is currently 8:58. So let's see, the foundation's been on 9 hours now, and I had to do some yard work today, so I'm curious to if the foundation would have stayed longer if I didn't do any yard work, because obviously it's gonna be gone like around my forehead and on my nose because I've been sweating, and then on my chin like typical. And so I mean, even that, I asked my husband, I was like, does it look okay even though I did like yard work? I asked my husband, I was like, does it look okay even though I did yard work? And he's like, yeah, I mean, it looks like natural, you know. As the day went on, I do see like maybe a tiny bit of buildup around my nose, so I'm curious if it would build up again if it didn't like sweat off my nose. So I might try the shade Natural tomorrow and see if I notice a huge like shade difference, or if the beige shade is more my shade still. Thank you all so much for watching. If I have time, I will pop in again with the natural shade after I've worn out all day and let you guys know how that worked. But right now I'm super happy with it. I love how it looks, and yeah, thanks for watching. Have a good one. Hi there. So I mentioned that I would do a check-in whenever I would wear the shade Natural, and I'm actually wearing the foundation today, and I used both shades. That's kind of what I've been really liking lately, is when I mix both shades on. I typically like to apply it with a sponge, but today I used a brush just so that way I could get it on quickly. And it's kind of hard to see because of the light here, but I do feel like it kind of picks up around my nose still. I obviously didn't do yard work, and but I do have like a big pore, so I think sometimes it just kind of settles into that right there. But yeah, I am really happy with this foundation. I would definitely buy it again. Wanting to spend like the high-end price, I feel like this kind of is comparable to like some of the high-end foundations that I have. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. I know this is a long video, but thank you. Have a good day. Bye.